If you guys have any questions, let's go for it. Just a second. Yes. Aha. Yeah. Sort it out.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, but as I was saying, welcome to everyone watching us live on YouTube and Twitch. As Zander said, episode 14, streaming live on YouTube and Twitch. If you guys have questions throughout the session, they can ask, right? And then we will just read through the questions.
Yeah, always. We do appreciate all interaction that we can get built into it, and chat to you guys as we go along.
Yeah, 100%. For those who are joining us for the first time, I was gonna do this at the end of the session, but just check out the great content we have on our YouTube channel. More content is coming, of course. If you guys have a question, care@tdmarkets.com, or you can ask your question here. We'll just get your question.
Yeah,
cool stuff. Let's get to the week. What happened last week? When I switch to the calendar.
Yeah, let's have a look at the calendar. I was kicking back last week, so I haven't been catching up on much.
Yeah, you've been chilling. Let's go to the calendar. Just last week. I think last week was a lot of CPIs, if I'm not mistaken.
Wasn't that the week before? That was when I was in Botswana.
Nah. Okay, let's.
Yeah, because you guys did the CPI stream. I was in Botswana.
Yes. Yeah, that was
the week before.
Jeez,
yeah. Time's flying, man. Like I still say, like this month feels so short.
It's a short month.
Yeah, like this is a short week as well. So
and next week the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, before we get to it, Monday's a holiday.
Yeah.
We move it to Tuesday. Our podcast.
Yeah, we'll do the podcast on Tuesday.
Yeah. Cool stuff. So let's quickly scroll and see how the calendar was looking last week. Don't forget, guys, you can get this calendar from our website, tdmarkets.com. So Monday, we didn't have anything except there was a speech. I think Julian mentioned the speech on our previous episode. And so Tuesday, let's see. Yeah, there was
zero reports just go up again.
There.
Zero reports, statements indicator. It's 4.1. It's come down significantly.
4.1.
Sentiment down in euro, like came down. Maybe that was the reason for some of that US dollar strength coming into the markets as well.
Could be, yeah. Yeah. Because that's a big jump. So we had the CPI, the CAT CPI look at year on year from 5.2 to 4.3.
Sure, it's a big jump, eh? Like 0%, 0.9% down. That's a big jump, which is good. Seeing like that inflation number actually come down. I think maybe that was because we saw like a lot of strength come in the USD CAD.
Yeah. So CAD weekend. So it's a bit because I was looking at NZD CAD and CAD weekend, USD CAD weekend.
You can see like where it's sort of coming into play now, right? Because with the USD, with the interest rates still keeping on going up, we saw, I think the CAD did pause on the interest rates, right? They kept it stable on like 4.5%.
4.5, yeah.
Yeah, 4.5%. Now you see like this interest rate differential really coming into play after that inflation number keeps on dropping. So I think there's a lot of big moving of money going around, like from Canada over to the US because of the differential. And
let's talk about the differential because this is very important. I read something on the differential and I wanted to talk about it on a podcast. So CAD interest rate 4.5%. Dollar is 4.75, I think.
Is that like 5 already now?
Oh, and 5 already. Yeah, because okay, we'll just check, but I think it's 5. Right. So those interest rates, right? How is it likely gonna respond? How are the market gonna likely respond to that? Because I think we do have the CAD interest rates again.
So there's a couple of things, right? So naturally, what you want to look at is institutions tend to put their money where they can get the best return on it.
100%.
That's why sometimes you'll see, and that's why a lot of the times, like a lot of ZAR strength comes into basically, I would say it's like a modified carry trade in a way, where people can borrow money in a place where you can get very low interest for, like for instance Japan, and then reinvest that money in somewhere you can get high interest rate for.
Makes sense.
So if you look at, it's called the carry trade, where you can see there's normally a strong correlation between US equities and the AUD JPY.
Okay.
Because there tends to be a lot of money invested in Japan where they can get it at a very low rate, and then reinvested in Australia where they can get it at a higher rate. So it's almost like a risk-free sort of a trade that you're looking at. And similar thing with the ZAR as well. You can see like a lot of sometimes when you have like interest rate hikes coming, like ZAR strength coming into the market, as there's a lot of money being pumped into like our retail bonds, not necessarily retail bonds, but let's say our 10-year bonds, and that money gets pumped into there because they're going to get like a higher rate of return than they would somewhere else. And something similar could be happening with the AUD, the USD CAD as well, because the USD been gaining strength on the CAD following that interest rate or that inflationary number as well. So with the inflation number coming down, there could be a forecast seeing that, okay, they might cut down on interest rates a bit more as well because inflation is getting under control. That means that gap's getting bigger, so there should be more USD strength coming into the markets.
100%. That's very important what you just touched on now. But we'll get to the like upcoming FOMC. Just touch on it a little bit. So the calendar. So we have this CAD CPI, housing stats. We didn't really get deep into it, but we can see the figures that came out there for the housing stats. So that was on Tuesday. I think the major one was CPI on Tuesday. Wednesday, the pound PPI there as well as the CPI. Pound CPI, where is it? Core CPI 0.9%. Wait. There we go. All right, and where the dollar CPI, 7.1%.
The rand CPI.
I mean the rand CPI, 7.1%. The euro CPI. Yeah, remember it was a week filled with CPIs actually. All right, so that was. All right, crude inventories, and then Thursday it was really a quiet week except the CPIs that we had. We had also had jobless claims as well.
Existing homes sales came down. Was a lot lower than forecasted.
Yeah, we had that as well. And then Friday. Yeah, I think that was it. All right, we had core retail sales and retail sales as well. Yeah, it went low, negative 0.2. Yeah, I think that was it. The major one last week, I think it was the CAD CPI. And let's have a look at this week. This week. No, wait. This week, the current week. There we go. All right, so Monday already has passed. We don't have anything. So let's see. Tuesday. Liberation Day in Italy. Liberation Day.
Do they also have their own Statue of Liberty?
They should. They should. So let's see, what do we have?
New home sales, forecasted a little bit higher. That would be shocking if it actually goes higher.
Yeah, I'm higher than expected.
Yeah, that would be shocking if it actually goes higher. Consumer confidence, that should drop down a bit lower.
Yeah, 100%. I also foresee that consumer confidence. And that's it for Tuesday. Maybe new home sales, but other than that, I don't think there's anything significant. And then Wednesday, the AUD CPI, it's at 7.8%. Inflation in Australia, forecast 7.1%.
But we should see like that sort of a similar trend that we're seeing in the US carry through like globally. Most inflation should be dropping down.
And they post interest rates, right? Yeah. So
no, I think they increased with 25 basis points.
And NZD is the one that like
Well, one of the two
yeah,
did. Like
one of
one
the two.
paused and the other one like
Yeah.
increased.
went 25 basis
Mm.
points. So that's at 3:30. We'll see how this will go out. AUD inflation data coming out tomorrow or Wednesday. Let's see what we have. Durable goods, something that you look at.
You can also look at it from an inflationary point of view.
Mm.
Where it's sort of stable at like 0.0%, so there's no increases expected month on month. Should be okay. Like ideally, you want that in a negative, right?
Both
No,
core
core durable goods
core durable goods like in a negative. If it goes in a positive,
means there's a likelihood of inflation increasing.
and it's been going down. So that's why you said ideally want it in negative.
Well, we do.
All right, that's so core durable goods, and that's it for Wednesday. Thursday, Freedom Day. In South Africa, of course, we're enjoying our freedom in the charts.
Enjoying our freedom, but still like bound by load shedding.
That's not freedom then.
No,
It's not freedom.
still dictated when you can have power.
Might as well come to work. I mean, GDP quarter on quarter, US dollar
2.7%. At least that's coming up a bit, but we still see that disparity between like inflation and growth. But yeah, then it's at least it's coming down, and it'll be good to see if we can get like GDP growth like to about 3% like closer to the end of the year.
Yeah,
that would be very good to see, because well, I've spoken about it before, like I still see that inflation number getting closer and closer to that 3% mark in the third quarter of this year. So I think there's definitely like I still feel like the US is on a better track than any of the other global economies. Maybe that's due to more their pace that they increase the interest rates. I still want them to cut sooner though.
Yeah, how did we do? I know there's been a lot of grilling, talks around that, but if we see how things are right now, inflation coming down well, and you just mentioned maybe they're on the right track. Not is the right track the word to use?
I think it is like they're keeping. I think they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
What they're supposed to be doing exactly.
Yeah. So they very much in line with what I think their forecasts are. Even though like I think what they forecasted in terms of inflation and growth might be a bit understated to what I think it would be. I think they'll outperform their forecast at the moment, especially from the end of year and over the next 3 years sort of perspectives. Like the one thing I sort of have a bit of a doubt about is like their forecast in terms of how slowly they're going to cut rates. Because they're not going to cut rates very quickly. Like
it's not going to be.
I think they might shave. Like the end of the year, what did I say they were looking at? About 5%. Yeah. So, or like 5%,
or
maybe a bit higher.
Yeah, little above 5%.
So like it's going to be interesting, but they're only dictating the end of the next year of being on like 4.5%. So that means they're only going to cut like 0.5% over the whole year. I think it's going to be dictated how the GDP figure actually comes out to that, but I think next year we might very well see like GDP is going to be a big figure to trade.
It's going to be one of the major focuses. PCE also around the same time. Core PCE 4.5%.
PCE, the normal PCE quarter on quarter is like 3.7%.
3.7%. All right, so we'll have a look at that. So no changes expected. And this is one of the important ones. This is one of the measures for inflation.
Oh, that's what Powell likes to look at.
Yeah, core PCE. All right. Also, home stats coming through there. That's at 4 o'clock, and that's it for Thursday. So, right. Let's see. All right, and then Friday. Oh, all right. Friday, we've got the yen retail sales coming out 0.3% from 1.4%. We also have interest rates.
Yeah, it's Japan, man.
Japan interest rates.
You don't expect them to do much. Like they've been on negative interest rates now for decades.
Uh, and then yeah, I think that's it for Friday. We've got the Euro GDP,
German GDP. Yeah.
German GDP.
Maybe
We've got
Eurozone GDP.
yeah,
Nothing.
percent.
No growth forecasted.
There we've got the CAD GDP coming up. Yeah.
Also zero growth. Jeez.
So we've got the PC figures coming out Thursday and Friday. All right. All right. So Friday we'll be looking out for the PCE, the CAD GDP, and this is how the week looks. This is how the week looks. Nothing significant, but these reports they are gonna cause movements. They are gonna cause those.
Yeah, well, especially if you see those outliers. I think one of those, like I think retail sales last week out of the CAD might have like added momentum onto that weakness in the CAD as well.
Yeah.
So good to see. Especially once like smaller sort of figures becomes a bigger influence in the markets. Gives you a little bit more variety to trade. It can be like more of a news trader once there's actually bigger movements in the market based off of sort of, I won't say non-important figures, but maybe lesser important figures.
Less important figures, 100%. So this is the last week. Next week is gonna be a big week.
Yeah.
For the dollar.
Especially after Labor Day, like Monday.
Yeah, after Monday.
Yeah.
So Tuesday and Wednesday, those 2 days, because there's the meeting coming up. So we will be doing our podcast on Tuesday. We'll dive deep on that, but there's a meeting coming up. Wednesday, it is the announcement. Friday, it's the NFP. The next week is the CPI.
Gee. Fun times.
That's how it's looking. So
either see the gold drop down to 1700 or skyrocket to 2200.
Yeah. So if it pushes up, then it's gonna break those levels, going back to COVID levels.
Yeah, well, it's sort of like it pushed up to that 2050 on that FIB that I was looking at, almost exactly, and rejected from that.
Rejected from it.
I also like when we spoke last, we were talking about that 70 level.
Yeah.
And if you did that FIB, if we actually looked at that FIB that we drew, like it actually hit it like perfectly.
Let's do this.
Yeah, do the FIB on there.
From this leg, right?
No, from the top down. No. The previous ring. Yeah, top down there.
Yeah. Wait. There we go. So you were targeting the 161.8. It did push up.
Yeah, that one nearly hit it.
Yeah, that 2050, just like a pipette away, like maybe 2 pipettes, 3 pipettes away.
Yeah, but that was the level I was going for. I still think there's going to be more upside though.
More upside is coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. So we touched on gold previously when you were here. What you spoke about is a possible retracement of this leg. You said it looks a bit overextended, right? Looking for a push to the downside. Looks like we are getting that push to the downside before continuation up.
Yeah, like I'm still very cautious of that 2070 mark. Because it hasn't quite hit it, and I'm just scared it like hits that mark and the aggressive sell-off's gonna come from there.
Because that's the COVID levels, right?
So you can see like every time, like even like the previous week, it touched and rejected quite hard. But yeah, I think if you do like a support, like right, yeah. Look at those wicks over there. So if it's holding, yeah, I think we could still see that push up higher, but I still feel it's overextended. More than likely, like get it back down to roughly,
that 50, yeah.
Yeah, get it down to the 50, and it correlates quite well with this last levels as well. Maybe come test it a bit before. We're gonna have like a similar sort of structure to like what we had, had like that nice little push up. Just come test this last high. The same, like these rejections, and there's lack of momentum. You can see that.
Yeah, there's no volume. There's
a lot of buying and selling going on, and it seems like this 50 level is more of a selling level. So get it back down to what's this level?
That's 1927.
Yeah, get it back down, and you start like buying again.
So there's a lot of profit taking now happening on gold. That's why we're seeing those weeks going up and going down.
Yeah.
A lot of profit taking.
It's still
So wait, let me just take you back. Do you remember how we spoke about before this move to the upside happened? How we spoke about if this weekly candle can close as a spike down, we're gonna see this push to the upside.
oh yeah, I spoke about like when it was
Yeah.
Oh, like it was actually that previous week.
Uh,
That previous was it that week or the week before when we got that close? I said like I wanted to close above that last that last candle, the last bearish candle.
yeah.
But I remember it exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we spoke about if we can get that week, then on a lower time frame, or maybe on this time frame, you're gonna see like kind of like a reversal structure, maybe a head and shoulder coming up. So if we take a look at this structure here, right, we have this week, which might be the head of the possible head and shoulder, and we have either this week or that week as one of the first shoulders. If we can get a spike, just a spike, like anywhere here, we're gonna have something like that again. Then you're gonna see that short-term drop, just for that head and shoulder. I'm thinking about how we spoke about it at around this time, and then it pushed up. We could be getting something again around this top. Looking at how these weeks are performing right now. Yeah, if there can be a spike, just a spike, then
maybe we'll see a double top movement similar to what we had at the bottom.
Yeah,
like there.
Yeah, it's this, exactly this. Right, you see how it is. So that spike on the weekly, it's this V, it's this move down and move up that caused that spike.
It's too small for like a butterfly pattern.
Yeah, that's too small. It's too small. So yeah, so it's gonna be interesting how gold reacts here, because it's either gonna make a lot of money or it's gonna, hunt a lot of money, if you were to put it that way. But yeah, this is just maybe patience, maybe having a little bit of patience here, but let's see. That's one of my confirmations to confirm more downside. But other than that, that pullback we just spoke about now, right, for continuation to the upside.
Yeah,
that's it.
Check out silver for me, hey.
Silver
is lining up for long, like really, really well at the moment.
Let's look at silver.
Because I had a look at it. Earlier today. It was just sitting and it wants to like really push, like it's holding all there. But also similarly, it feels overextended, but like I feel it just wants to go more.
Yeah, this move is just too aggressive, right?
So that's the thing between gold and silver. Like silver is a lot more aggressive and moves a lot quicker. But I do feel like that push is still sort of coming. Just zoom out a little bit.
Yeah, we think there's still a retracement coming. There's on the daily time frame.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a bigger, pullback than I was sort of thinking. But still, like these levels, there's still like a lot of support there.
There's a lot of support. I fully agree.
And maybe come down to like see if we can find a level. Yeah, probably
I see that level.
Yeah, there. See a bit more of a deeper retracement, then you should see that push up. Then possibly back up to maybe a bit higher. Give or take there.
So that retracement you're talking about, let me do this. Maybe come back a little bit more to the downside. Do you see how we have this here? Getting that also here. Then we've got what looks like a head and shoulder for a push for this. That would be a nice move. A nice move. So these levels that you've drawn here, this beautiful level here, it can break and basically come inside this zone, basically. Right, we can't use the Fibonacci here because this is too aggressive. Maybe on the 4-hour, we can use the Fib, but yeah, no, this is just a correction. There's a correction forming. This is not the reversal as yet. Still correcting, looking at how it is forming. Yeah, so focusing on some upside on silver. Looking for a pattern there for some upside.
Yeah.
Continuation. It's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking good. So gold also looking at the same thing, right? Maybe a pull down and then continuation high.
Ideally, but it's also similar. It's also sitting at a level, you know.
This is a level.
Yeah. But from a sort of a extended point of view, like I feel it's still a bit high. Maybe get a bit down lower, get a bit cheaper, and then look at taking it up.
100%, 100%. And have you been looking at Bitcoin? How is it doing? It's rejecting this. Is it 30? Went to 30,300. It's trading below it now. Right, this aggressive.
It's a weekly candle.
That's a weekly candle.
Closes aggressive, okay?
Very aggressive. Very, very, very aggressive. You know.
Yeah, it closed. It closed really well. I would say that might be like the point of sell-offs.
Yeah, the sell-offs are happening now. Looking at how this move is, you looking at the trend line? Not the trend line, the neckline. Just going back to the neckline.
Possibly.
Yeah, let's see.
I think we spoke about that last time and you did the podcast as well.
Yeah, we like spoke about this possibility. Just that it took a long time to form, but it
actually pushed a bit higher.
Yeah, I think this is building up for a continuation to the upside. So a retest here, I can see it's on the 61.8 fib or the 50. Yeah, there's a continuation coming. There's a continuation coming. Yes. That's at least that's what I'm looking at. You see something different?
I hope not. I still don't have like a lot of hope for Bitcoin, but there might be that sort of a fear factor involved when it comes to Bitcoin at the moment, or the institutional levels at the moment. So yeah, could still happen. I just don't see value in on this alternative asset much.
Well, I mean, we'll continue keeping an eye on it. But yeah, there's let's see how it falls. Let's see how it falls. I've been keeping an eye on what's that?
Natural gas.
Natural gas. Natural gas.
I have like that level that we spoke about last time actually held pretty well. Pushed up aggressively, but still lagging a bit. There's not like a ton of momentum behind it.
Yeah, there's not.
Like as much as we saw that sell-off happening so quickly, we're really struggling to see that push up higher. Yeah, if I look at like, what was that chart you're on now on the weekly?
Daily. That's the daily.
Oh yeah. If you look at that aggressive pullback and that lack of momentum going up, I think we might see another breakdown though.
You think so?
Yeah. It depends on what happens on that level though, if it's holding that level. But there could be like another break lower. Look at how aggressive that sell-off was, that candle.
It is.
Because it just pushed up and sold off from there. With that lack of momentum going back up again.
Yeah.
Buyers are struggling coming to the markets.
So can this push lower than this $2.10, $2.11? You think it can push lower than that?
Zoom out. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting.
Like we might just break it and head back up again, but like we need to see something form at the bottom. Like we're not really seeing anything forming at the moment. I want to see some sort of a high being made or broken within the lower, or like a bit of a higher low.
Yeah.
At the moment we're just seeing consolidation.
All right.
Like that level might very well be right that you're sitting at,
Mm.
but like there's no confirmation of real upward momentum just yet.
As yet, right? All right. All right. All right.
We saw that you were right. Look how it just broke those levels and that sell-off came and shot up.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it develops. We'll see how it develops further. All right. One of the charts we spoke about, UK oil. It's sitting on the trend line now. On the channel.
Didn't quite close that gap, but it's very much almost there. Hey?
It's right there. Almost right there. The retest of this. Could this be a start of a bullish market?
Yeah.
UK oil.
I haven't catched up on the fundamentals after they did that supply cut.
Deficit.
Since they did the supply cut, like I haven't caught up on much of the oil news recently, but this is very much lining up to like close that gap to actually take it up high again. But it does seem that way. Does very much seem that way.
The 50 is quite close as well. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting here. Interesting.
Means petrol prices going up. Inflation's gonna get more.
Do you think I see a possible, 90, is it $95?
Yeah, up there. Like, yeah,
$95.
up there.
Yeah. All right. No, this is UK oil. Yeah. It's very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Let me check if there's a couple of questions. Oh, there was a question here. I think we answered the question. It says, with the drop of inflation rate, could you see gold prices go up? Could you see a drop in gold prices?
Yeah, more than likely. I'd still say that either way, doesn't matter what happens with inflation recently. Like every inflation number, especially if it comes down lower, you still see gold pushing up higher. So we might see a bit of that retracement that we're looking at to actually push up higher still. I still see gold rallying up more up until the point where they actually maybe start cutting interest rates. I'm still not sure what's going to happen once they start cutting interest rates, because it's been like dead in terms of how the market moves. Like last time, because we've had like 2 instances now of pausing, not necessarily cutting, and it hasn't been a great move for the markets, yet again being considered like weakness in the market. So I'm still waiting for that point where we're going to see cutting happen and there's going to be strength coming into the market. We might see that actually happen when, I don't necessarily want to say parity is breached, but once GDP and inflation once GDP gets more than inflation and then they start cutting, that might be seen as a better thing for the economy. I think that's where we're going to head, and at the pace that we're going, maybe June, July, maybe a bit longer. Like I said, that third quarter of the year, like after June, July, those big figures falls off basically. So if the US can actually get that GDP figure to like 3%, I do think that.
All right. Thank you for the question there, and still waiting for more questions to come in. Let's see. Okay, there are no questions this side. All right. Let's go back to the chart. So oil. Let's see if we could get that head and shoulder in. This being the neckline there, the other shoulder in, and then a push to the upside. Look at that.
You want to check on that USD ZAR?
Let's go to the USD ZAR. I'm bullish on USD ZAR. Still bullish now. It's just been playing, just been going up and down, but I'm still bullish. So it's still that 18. Oh, it's 18 rand. This is the 18 rand zone here.
Yeah, I think yesterday I was seeing on 1811.
It's on 1812. Yeah, it's bouncing on 1811, 1812 now. But you know, when it comes to USD ZAR, looking at a couple of things, I'm looking for a break above.
To be honest with you, I'm thinking short.
Thinking short.
Yeah.
If it
Because
breaks this level.
like if you see, like, if you take that last portion into account, it's like a flat bottom triangle.
Mhm.
They tend to break down.
Okay. This triangle here.
Yeah.
So
I would put orders like just below there to take it down lower.
uh,
Possibly if
what
I'm
would
taking
you-
it lower, like I'll
Mm.
take it back down to about there.
Yes,
Yeah,
somewhere
right
here.
there.
So I'm still bullish on this one. Let me just remove. I'm still bullish on this one. If it breaks this level here, then I've looked at the possibility of the market coming down here, right? But that could mean that we're having a bigger correction.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that.
Mm.
Let's zoom out a bit more. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I would still look at, like, my ideal for this is to actually take it
I see.
there. That was just an inside channel for me. That's where I'll look at to actually start buying again. But
Yeah.
there's a big loss of momentum here.
Mm.
So I don't think we're necessarily going to break a lot. We're going to break a lot higher. But I do think we'll make like another high, possibly. I'll probably just hit there. Probably roughly there.
Mm.
But that's what I would look at the moment.
Yeah.
And then if it does break, there's going to be a lot of momentum coming into markets.
So my thought process on this is I'm long-term buy, right? And I'm looking at the possibility of what you're talking about now. If this breaks, then it will come back to this low again, all right, to form like a bigger correction for this continuation to the upside. This is the possibilities I'm looking at. But in terms of the trend direction, I think this is still bullish. Still bullish. Still
Yeah,
bullish.
agree.
Long-term bullish.
100% agree. Yeah, this is my level. 100%.
There's a very nice level there. There's confluence there. Yeah, I mean, these are the pairs that you buy and hold. You buy, you hold it, and just be patient with it, you know. Once it moves, it really moves. We've seen like the previous impulse waves. Once it gives us such movements here, they become really big. Really, really, really big. All right, so this one was the other one. And then here we're seeing a bit of correction consolidation. Once we get that same move again, whether it's from where we are or down here, but trust is going to be very big. So yeah, so let's see. It comes back down. I'll be looking to put more buy orders.
And wait for price to drop there, then it gets announced we're going to stage 8.
So yeah, you know, that will be good for the position you want to take. That's really where the 61.8 is. Your level there is on the 61.8 of the fib. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking at. Go. What's this? USD ZAR now. Long-term bullish. All right. Any more charts, or is this it for the analysis?
Yeah, no, I think I'm
For the
good
week?
with that for the week.
Yeah.
I think there's some really good stuff to actually look at.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would keep a close eye on this USD ZAR this week.
Last week for me was a slow week. It wasn't really a good week. It was a slow week last week. Hoping this week is gonna be a good week. You know, Miss, how these weeks go. You can have a good week, can have an okay week, a bad week, a good week. But the idea
one week you
is
get kicked out of the Europa League, and the next week you're in the final of the
in
FA Cup.
of the FA Cup. That Manchester derby.
Like,
It's gonna be a crack.
chances of De Gea and Maguire getting sold this summer.
De Gea, Maguire, look, it's 99.9% that they get.
Like, they both cost us in the Europa League game, man.
Yeah, I didn't watch the game. I just heard Kelleran say we just played. I don't know, like what. So from off of the performances, you think it's time for them?
Yeah, it's time to go. The bigger thing that I want to ask you is Arsenal City for the league.
City.
100%.
City. So you see what's happening.
Like they're cracking, man. They're cracking. Shots are being fired at the gunners. Pew, pew.
Look, look, Arsenal had it on one hand.
Yeah.
They're letting it slip now. I mean, they're on 75 points, I think. Man City 70 points, and City are 2 games behind. 2 wins for City, then they are up. Sure, that's what experience does.
Yeah.
Pep Guardiola experience.
Yeah, no. Good luck to them.
Yeah. When I look at that table, I just can't believe it. Just can't. Yeah, but I'm going for City. I know Pep Guardiola's gonna work his magic, get another title, possibly the Champions League as well.
Yeah. Oh, that being said, was it Real Madrid's looking good?
Real Madrid, Man City, which one you go with? Because they're gonna play in the semi-finals.
I don't know. It's gonna be a tough call.
I think City's taking it this time. City's taking it this time. I know Real Madrid are on fire. I mean, things just work for Real Madrid.
Benzema's been playing well.
Who?
Benzema.
Yeah, but I think this time City's taking everything. Yeah.
Because they were on cruise control against Chelsea, man. Like they were just chilling.
And I think they're gonna play against. We're gonna play against Chelsea. They're playing against Arsenal. City and Arsenal.
No, I'm talking about the Champions League.
Yeah.
Because Real Madrid took out Chelsea.
Oh yeah. Real Madrid took out Chelsea. Yeah. Yeah, man. So Champions League. This is my prediction. City's gonna win the Champions League. City's gonna win the title.
Isn't City's playing Bayern?
No, they played Bayern. They.
Oh yeah. They like ran over them.
So
who's the semis then?
It's City, Real Madrid, and then we have Inter Milan and AC Milan. Yeah. So it's gonna be a Milan derby semi-finals, and City and Real Madrid semi-finals. City's taking this one.
Yeah, I would actually. Well, either or, like the winner of that game sort of goes for it.
Yeah. Wait, there's a question here. Let's see. U.S. equities. Could you have a look at Nasdaq? American business is growing stronger. Let's go to Nasdaq. Let's have a look at Nasdaq.
There is a lot of earnings coming out this week. Actually, tomorrow there's a lot of earnings coming out. Microsoft is coming out tomorrow. Yeah. So if we get good results out of Microsoft, we might actually see like a good push coming in the Nasdaq.
Oh yeah, this is Nasdaq.
Well, it's holding levels quite well at the moment, but still consolidating quite a bit. Yeah, I could still see a possible push higher. Also seeing like a bit of loss of momentum, but if we can get that range to sort of break, I think that upward momentum will definitely be on to that last high.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I have the same view as well, right? So we broke that previous structure. We are busy consolidating, correcting. A rejection here is going to continue this trend because now we're in an uptrend now.
Yeah, 100%.
Continue this trend. So yeah, so this is how we are looking at Nasdaq, a continuation to the upside. If you go to the lower time frames, it might still come back down to these levels again. It might. So yeah, it might still come back here. So you want to be patient with this one. Just be patient with this one. But yeah, continuation to the upside is exactly what we're looking for. Let me show you the 4 hour, something on the 4 hour quickly. A possible retest of this area here and then a continuation up. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, I mean, the Nasdaq is still bullish. All right, it's still completing that structure, the ascending structure, and yeah. We are keeping an eye on this bullish leg. Cool. So that's how Nasdaq is looking. Man City, my blood is blue.
Yeah.
As a Man City fan.
I'm not gonna say anything. They're still better than us at the moment.
Way better. I think we need
at the moment. That is at the moment.
Yeah. I think we need some 3 seasons under Ten Hag. Maybe we can catch them.
How long did it take Arteta to actually like do well? This is
4 seasons.
Is this his 4th season?
I think it's 4 seasons.
No, what Ten Hag did like with United in 1 season is amazing.
No, look, I think now they must just invest in him.
2 finals and top 4. The chances of us not ending in the top 4 now is not it's hardly not gonna happen. Like
Yeah.
it's just fourth or third. That's what I'm thinking.
We are a
But
game
like-
behind.
Hey.
We are a game behind from Newcastle.
Yeah, if we win it, but we're on equal points.
Yeah. equal
So if we
points
win, we
again,
go
yeah.
back to
Yeah.
third. But then my problem is like we've got so many away games coming up now, and our away game form is not great.
We've got Tottenham coming up.
Well, if Newcastle,
Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just another reason for Harry Kane to leave.
And come to us, I mean, we'll welcome
I
him.
won't pay that much. Man.
Welcome him. Yeah, and he's old.
Mm.
All right. So yeah. So I think that's it. That's it for episode 14 of the podcast. All right. If you guys have questions, assistance, send an email to care@tdmarkets.com. And yeah, follow us also on all social media platforms for any updates, content, analysis, and everything that you might need.
Yeah, guys, that's it for Seppo and myself for today.
Yep.
Final words of advice.
Be on it.
Be on it.
Be on
You
it.
heard it, yeah. It's a TD Markets exclusive.
Be on it.
Guys, hope you guys have a great weekend.
The next episode, remind them quickly.
Next week, Tuesday,
Mhm.
seeing as it's Freedom Day and Labor Day.
On Monday.
I think it's Labor Day on Monday. Freedom Day is
It's this Thursday.
Thursday.
Monday is something.
It's my son's birthday.
Yeah, we'll be celebrating that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the next
Drinks at
episode.
my house.
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
No, they didn't get that. What did you say right now?
I can't remember.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you guys on Tuesday. Next week is a big week. Big week. We'll be
Big
back.
2 weeks coming up.
Big 2 weeks coming up. We will be back. Julian, hopefully you will be here as well. And yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next episodes of
Cool.
the next streams.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, enjoy.